Hell of a thing. So Jasmine Crockett, congresswoman, claps back at Donald Trump's low IQ comment. Here's the saga.
I look at the Democrats, they're in total disarray. They have a new person named Crockett. I watched her speak the other day. She's definitely a low IQ person. And they said, she's the future of the party. I said, you have to be kidding.
But she's a lowlife. And she's a very low IQ person and a lowlife. And I don't imagine the Democrats are going to have a person like that running their party. If they do, and they'll never win an election again. It would be very hard. But I can't imagine she's going to last long.
Him scared. Donald Trump is not giving advice to the Democratic Party. Oh no, they'll never win with her. Trump has a very simple code. It is not difficult to decipher. If he says someone has low IQ, that means their IQ is high, and in particular, higher than his. When he says you can't win with that person, that means he's afraid that you can. It's very simple, very easy to decipher. Now, Ms. Crockett responded during a CNN interview. Here it is.
The fact that you just got done engaging in a conversation where we have a president of the United States who has no idea about the oath that he just took on January 20th tells me everything that I need to know. He didn't even have good sense enough in that same interview to say something as simple as, yes, I will follow the Constitution. You know, the thing that actually derived from the oath that he was supposed to take. And he supposedly took an oath, which there's a lot of people that point out that he never put his hand on the Bible, even though he acts as if he could somehow be the Pope. But nevertheless, that oath specifically says that you will defend the Constitution. So the idea that you are now taking the Constitution and, as I said at the DNC, putting it through a paper shredder is a problem. And I think that this should not be partisan. This should be right versus wrong. A lot of the things that this administration is doing, they don't have anything to do with partisanship. This is right versus wrong. And right now, they are consistently wrong.
You said many, many moons ago on Indisputable, Trump cares nothing about your Constitution. He cares nothing about the country. He doesn't give a damn about your economic situation. None of this has ever been about you, the country, or anything outside of him. So Crockett would also respond on X, posting, quote, for you to be in charge of the whole country, you sure do have my name in your mouth a lot. Every time you say my name, you're reminding the world that you're terrified of smart, bold Black women telling the truth and holding you accountable. So keep talking. Now, I will say this, it has been a while since Donald Trump has been asked about somebody else's comment in reference to him. Typically, everyone is responding to his comments about them. Now he is responding to what this Black woman, who's very well accomplished and highly educated, has said in reference to him. So MAGA supporters, once again, MAGA supporters are flooding social media with comments riddled with sexist and racist tropes. I mean, it's getting old. It's not even shocking. So they're coming against the Texas Congresswoman. President Donald Trump kicked the hornet's nest, so to speak, by dropping Crockett's name during that interview on NBC's Meet the Press May 4th. So the quote, you sure do have my name in your mouth a lot, responded Crockett on X, who watched along with millions of other viewers on Sunday. Cue the MAGA backlash as internet trolls invaded the comment section of Crockett's post, which now has more than 3 million views and nearly 8,000 responses. Amid messages of support were MAGA trolls spewing invectives, calling Crockett, quote, a ghetto Barbie or little Miss Rachet and, quote, a village idiot. You got to come up with some new material. We've done this before. We've read this before at Indisputable. All of those names, ironically, actually fit Trump more so than anyone else in politics. So one crucial response, very crucial, posted by an ex-user named Patriot Lioness, has 11,000 views. Quote, first off, you don't tell the truth. Second, you have a big mouth with a very nasty attitude. You really should be referred to the ethics committee for your unprofessional behavior and for the inciting of violence. By the way, every time you open your mouth, you display a low IQ. You seem to have a lot of things in your mouth. Truth isn't one of them, wrote DJT Loves 2.0, followed by the comment, quote, he snatched your weave live on air. User at ForeverLone11W quipped, quote, please look up the word terrified because it obviously doesn't mean what you think it does, ghetto Barbie. And another one, you run your mother 24/7 and say nothing worth hearing, little Miss Rachet. That wrote by at Swamp Drain DC. Someone named at Mouse Crackers told the Democratic representative, quote, you are an embarrassment to our nation, dear. How a rude, cheap floozy got into Congress is freshly alarming each day.
You can't even keep a straight face.
I'm trying to keep a straight composure while these individuals engage in their cult-like behavior. All right, so Pam Bondi previously accused Crockett of inciting violence. Here it is.
She said that about Elon. She said, well, I didn't mean violence, but however, your words have consequences. And what happened after she said that about Elon Musk, she's a Texan in her own home state. After she said that, this morning, 3 explosive devices were found in Austin, Texas. So she needs to unequivocally denounce the violence. She must apologize immediately, not only to all Texans, but to our country, to the American shareholders of Tesla, because she is promoting violence. This is domestic terrorism. And Maria, now you have this Congresswoman Crockett who is calling for attacks on Elon Musk on her birthday. Let's take him out on my birthday, she says. And yet she turns and says, oh, I'm not calling for violence. Well, she is an elected public official. And so she needs to tread very carefully because nothing will happen to Elon Musk.
Our nation is governed by Karens. Trump actually admitted he animated violence and he's still there, gave them a pardon after his gang attempted to overthrow the Constitution and constitutional order because he may plan to do it again. So Crockett did respond to Pam Bondi. Here it is.
So Pam Bondi, if you have an issue with terrorism, maybe you should talk to your boss about locking back up those guys that he let out that participated in January 6th.
When Pam Bondi, though, says, tread carefully, what does that even mean?
Yeah. All it means is that she's attempting to get me to say, oh, I'm going to be scared and I'm just not going to say anything because they are willing to literally break the law. I mean, that's what we've seen them do. They are ignoring court orders. They are ignoring what our own laws are. When we look at things such as impoundment, things like that, this entire administration is rogue. And this isn't about partisanship. I keep trying to tell people that we are living in the time of good versus evil, right versus wrong. And right now, when we are looking at the black letter of the law and they are deciding I'm just going to ignore it, then they are wrong. That is clear as day. And right now, they are going after anyone who decides that they will challenge them.
All right, there's your update. Sharon, thoughts?
Doc, this Did you say mouse crackers was one of the handles? I mean, this is what we're dealing with, these internet trolls, these rodents who are calling other people dumb. Your leader's the one that said they eating the pets. I mean, right. What are we supposed to do with them? It is to the point where Jasmine Crockett, a lawyer, by the way, an incredible young leader who probably will and should take over the party at some point. It's beneath her. She can handle it, Doc, but it's beneath her. I think it would be money well spent for the Democratic Party to farm some of this out. Cat Williams is an excellent subcontractor who could he would enjoy it. You got to give him his money, but hey, let him take care of something like this. This is buffoonery.
Yeah, that may actually fly, Sharon. We're going to see what
you know him. You see if he's available. I know he tours a lot.
Love it.